We all know the classic ghost ship setup. Half-eaten meals left warm on the table, bloodthirsty mutinies, sea monsters dragging sailors to the deep, an empty vessel drifting aimlessly through thick ocean fog. None of those details are true. The quintessential maritime mystery we've been told for over a century is actually a massive piece of 19th century fake news. The spooky embellishments trace directly back to an 1884 short story written by a 25-year-old Arthur Conan Doyle. His fictionalized account of a derelict ship was so convincing, readers across the globe accepted it as factual history. A compelling piece of pulp fiction completely overwrote the actual historical reality. The truth of what happened out on the water is driven by cold physical evidence, not the supernatural. The real crime scene opens on December 4, 1872, when a British brigantine called the Dei Gratia spotted a ship drifting in the Atlantic Ocean. Boarding the vessel, the sailors found it entirely seaworthy. There were 6 months of food and water stocked in the galley. The crew's clothes and valuables were still packed safely away below deck. Yet there were signs of sudden distress. The hold contained about 3.5 feet of water. A makeshift sounding rod lay abandoned on the deck. A pump was dismantled, and the ship's single lifeboat, a small yawl, was gone. The missing captain was Benjamin Briggs. He was an incredibly experienced, deeply rational veteran seaman with an impeccable reputation, and he was traveling with his wife and 2-year-old daughter. This creates a massive psychological vacuum. A rational, highly experienced captain does not order his family and crew off a perfectly sound, fully provisioned ship to take their chances in a tiny rowboat in the open ocean without a very specific, terrifying reason. The initial investigation tried to find a human villain. At the 1872 salvage hearings in Gibraltar, an overzealous prosecutor named Frederick Sully Flood was determined to pin the abandonment on a bloody mutiny or a pirate attack. He pointed to dark stains on a sword as proof of a massacre and deep cuts on the bow as evidence of intentional sabotage. But scientific analysis and naval experts proved the blood was just common rust, and the supposed axe marks were naturally caused by the sea splintering the wood. While the prosecutor hunted for a violent struggle, the ship's physical state told a different story. The main hatches stood wide open, the sounding rod lay dropped, and out of 1,701 barrels, exactly 9 were found empty. The cargo consisted entirely of industrial alcohol, a substance known for being highly volatile and flammable. Because the 19th century court was obsessed with finding a murderer, they completely missed the forensic fingerprints of a chemical event. It took 21st century chemistry to piece together the mechanics of the disaster. Modern experiments mimicking the ship's hold show that ethanol vapors were leaking from those 9 porous barrels, pooling heavily in the enclosed space. This diagram shows how the gas accumulated below deck. When a crew member opened the hatch to inspect the hold, or perhaps lit a cigar, that accumulated vapor ignited. This triggered a pressure wave explosion, a massive blast of fire rolling through the lower decks. What makes this specific type of ethanol explosion unique is that it burns relatively cool and dissipates almost instantly. It leaves absolutely no soot, no scorching, and no physical damage to the wood. Faced with rumblings below deck, the smell of fumes, and a sudden blast of flame, Captain Briggs made a logical, tactical decision. Fearing the entire ship was about to detonate, he urgently ordered his family and crew down into the lifeboat, tethering it to the main vessel with a halyard line until the danger passed. While they waited in the yawl, a sudden gust of wind caught the empty ship's sails. The heavy vessel lurched forward, snapping the towline and leaving the crew stranded in a tiny boat. A scientifically sound survival decision compounded with brutal weather to create a fatal disaster. The true culprit was completely independent of the supernatural. The tragic irony of the Mary Celeste is that she didn't sink in 1872. The ship remained perfectly seaworthy and was put back into commercial service, sailing under new crews for another 12 years. Her final demise arrived in 1885, when a disgraced captain intentionally ran her aground on a reef in Haiti. He destroyed the ship as part of a mundane insurance scam involving a fake cargo of cheap rubber boots and cat food. Captain Briggs and his family died solely because they chose to abandon a ship that ultimately survived them by over a decade. The cold, mechanical combination of chemistry and human panic is far more terrifying than any ghost story. Real human tragedy is easily erased, replaced by entertaining fiction, because we'd rather believe in cursed ships than admit how easily a single rational mistake can turn fatal.